Myanmar and its Yangon city. Myanmar is geographically well located in Southeast Asia and South Asia, with long coastal lines. Since reopening a few years ago, Myanmar is the latest world hotspot and the new frontier that embraces the world with new developments in politics, education, social, healthcare, cultural, and economic growth. Yangon is the largest city in Myanmar. Yangon is a beautiful city, sited on the fertile Irrawaddy Delta, with a beautiful riverfront, and further south, within the greater Yangon region, lies the long coastal front. Yangon has an international airport and existing port facilities. Yangon has planned deep sea ports in the south, new international airport in Bago, and new railway system. In recent years, Yangon is experiencing a phenomenal growth and transformation in all sectors: air transport, city traffic, residential, commercial, financial, industries, and tourism. Today we face many challenges to bring Yangon as a truly world-class city. Among others, these include for better standard in housing, in community recreation facilities, in education institutions, in city infrastructure for road system, mass rapid transit system, railway system, and in public transportation. These include the overall better city governance and its management. There is great potential in many sectors, including seaport development and logistic, as there is lack of deep seaport terminal and international cruise center. Yangon City and its future. On planning strategic thinking, we need to plan ahead for the next 10 to 20 years, next 20 to 30 years, and beyond. We need a clear, broad, and long-term vision for the city. We need to plan city population growth from the existing 5.2 million to 10 million in midterm planning, and to population of 13.5 million as projected by the year 2050, and to 15 million and beyond in long-term planning. Myanmar urbanization will be from existing 29.6% to 40%. The existing average household size of 4.4 is expected to be reduced to 3.4. What does this mean for Yangon City's future? Inevitably, we need more housing units, more jobs to be created, and more city transformation. We need to improve the existing city and to expand the city. The expansion of Yangon will be even greater scale and forming as one of the mega cities in Southeast Asia. Since the end of the last century, Yangon existing structure has an old railway loop as the inner ring, which encloses the central Yangon of 85 square kilometer area, forming the old town with its Shui Dagon Pagoda, its spiritual center, and the Sula Pagoda as the center of the city for all city measurements. This is the remains of the colonial planning. Progressively, in the recent years and under the Yangon City Development Committee, YCDC, the current City Development Master Plan was planned with a total area of 790 square kilometers. Interestingly speaking, in comparison, this is the same size as Singapore Island city-state with same population number. This area is enclosed by the outer ring, which is targeted to be completed in the next 10 to 15 years. This outer ring, with total length of 120 kilometers, will provide connection to these outer regions of Dala, Tilawa, Dagon Sekan, East Dagon, North Dagon, North Okalapa, Mingalarden, Shepata, and Hlang Taya. Till now, this outer ring is not fully developed, and it is not fully connected with new tunnel expressway across Yangon River. There are missing links in connecting and upgrading the existing highways to truly expressway nature. We all know for Yangon to realize this planning potential, the completion of outer ring must be the city's top priority for the next 10 to 15 years. It will allow the expansion of Yangon to house a population of 7 million and cater for many immediate city needs and movements. Broadly speaking, the existing YCDC land use planning on usable development lands, less government reserve use, is based on 15% industrial area, 3% Central Business District (CBD) areas, 12% green and recreational areas, and 70% residential areas, including public and its commercial. Plots are created based on module of 60 feet by 40 feet for residential and industrial plot module of 1 acre in size. These planning strategies resulted in speculative wait-and-see approach in development. In our opinion, the planning policy must be reviewed in any future new Yangon planning areas. These include new development control, land release, and programs. Yangon City and its grand vision. We have the vision that the city will expand in a controlled way in 4 main directions: north, south, east, and west regions. Conceptually, the west in Irrawaddy is farming and city hinterland. The south is port and logistics, the east industry, the north is housing, and the center remains as commercial. We believe that no matter how the new Yangon will expand, the future Yangon City must remain Shwedagon as a spiritual center and the Sule Pagoda as center of all measurement of the city. We propose that beyond the YCDC planned outer ring, there should be another Grand Yandong Ring. Hence, the future Grand Yandong City is within this 50-kilometer radius Grand Yandong City Master Plan. The Grand Ring is approximately 32 kilometers from the center, measured from Sule Pagoda, and a total length of 200 kilometers, and encompasses a total city growth area of 7,800 square kilometers, which is roughly 10 times of Singapore size. New towns grow within this region. New towns are connected by rings and highways, radiating toward the center and outward to other growth regions in the west Irrawaddy Division and in the east in the north Abago Division. We also need to consider the sea link for cargo and cruise ships to the southern islands, other Myanmar coastal cities, and to other seaports in Southeast Asia, including Phuket, Penang, Malacca, Singapore, and other international ports. The new Yangon Port City. Our current master planning proposal focuses on the proposed Grand Yangon Southern Development. The new city stretches southward for Dala to southern coastal areas, forming the new Yangon Port City. The new Yangon Port City covers an area of 1,100 square kilometers, which is comparatively 1.5 times the size of Singapore Island State. On this piece of fertile land, we have the vision to create a smart and green new city, to house 2 million or more population by 2050. We estimate to create 500,000 homes, 1 million jobs within this new city, and complete city amenities. As the Grand Ring passes across Yangon River, a suspension bridge will be constructed, spanning across the Yangon River over the river island. A central expressway connects the outer ring to Grand Ring. There are parallel and perpendicular major roads, which give the city structure. Highway will also be constructed from the Yangon Port City to connect to the future airport city in the west. A green boulevard runs across the entire city, north to south, leading as green corridor pointing from Shwedagon to the coast, and expand at 2 locations as Twin Central Park, as major city Green Lung. We have a green promenade along the river coast, green park connectors and waterways linking the Twin Central Parks to the urban farmland and nature reserve in the western region. The city is envisaged to have a pleasant environment with a high green ratio and architecture that embraces green and energy-saving technology. Generally, the city blocks face north to south, as we shall avoid the hot western sun. We have several regional centers, sports hub, integrated resort, universities, industry zones, high-tech zone, free trade zone, mixed-use zones, urban farms, power plants, sewage and water treatment plants, transportation hubs, parks. We propose to achieve a balanced and sustainable environment. We create layer of planning in terms of land use, road system, mass rapid transit system, green system, pedestrian network, city infrastructure system, and nature preservation. We want to create a city with maximum building coverage of 30%, max plot ratio of no more than 4.2, There will be underground provision city public utilities, and these provisions shall be sufficient for future city needs. Development of Yangon Port City. Firstly, a new Yangon Development Control Board must be formed, and the master plan must be gazetted. Secondly, rings must be formed. Bridges and 50-kilometer Central Boulevard Highway must be completed. Thirdly, development in phases with the southernmost zones and Yangon River promenade zones will be the targeted early phases development. Yangon New Port Zone has its total areas of 420 square kilometers shall be divided. Phase 1A, including Container Port, International Cruise Center, and integrated resort zones and western areas as oil terminal and power plant zones. Phase 1B will be supported by its own regional port center, CDB, housing, industry zones, mixed-use zones, and future airport city. Phase 1C will be supported by institutional buildings, green development, mixed-use at various parcellation, according to further detail planning and suburban plans. Yangon River waterfront is promenade zone. This zone has 120 square kilometers, shall be divided in 2 regional centers, connected by river promenade. Yangon River is the greatest asset for the city planning. We envisage that this zone will be one of the world's best livable waterfronts. Careful design and detailed planning will capture riverfront sceneries and leisure environment. By 2050, the Yangon River will have water transportation for tourism and daily commute across the city. The Yangon Riverfront shall bring an enjoyable and exciting living to city dwellers. We have the planning vision that the inland of the port city are various mixed developments for housing, industry, and commercial. There will be proper waste disposal system, sufficient children's playground and car parking. Schools, markets, and community centers are integrated to form a vibrant neighborhood environment. Vertical green and rooftop garden will further improve livability amongst the communities of all walks of life and ages. In terms of city transportation facilities, under a new integrated road management system, highways and MRT system ensure fast-paced mobility, slow-paced public transportation, including BRT bus system, designated bicycle routes, and pedestrian network, provides a public-friendly and green transport system. We want to achieve a Grand Yangon City with the new port city as a well-designed, user-friendly, and environmentally responsible new city. We want a balanced and sustainable, world-class new city. In 2050, the new Yangon Port City will become part of Grand Yangon Master Plan, and it is the new southern Yangon region. We believe that the urban environment in the new port city will foster and sustain a balanced live, play, and work life. Let the light of Shordagon Pagoda continue to shine in all directions and protect the land of Yangon, leading the city to a bright future.